Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. And welcome to the show. My name is Rob, also known as DC Rob or DC Born Rob, whatever. I respond to all of them. Thanks for joining me. I have a little bit of housekeeping while I wait for a few other people to jump in. James is here already, who is one of our featured guests, who will be on later for you guys that I guess enjoyed his advice last week. Just a little bit of housekeeping first, as I wait for people to join us. Today, I got my first donation via PayPal. I had someone ask me, hey, you need to get a donate button. So spent a little bit of time on it, created a donate button. You click on the donate button, you donate to me and my channel or to my charity. My charity there is Comuna Ocho, the El Faro neighborhood. Via Andres at Nomad Travel. So he takes care of all of that for me. You have to do this tour to Comuna Ocho. Don't just stay down at Yeres or Setenta and walk around the main part of the city, El Centro. Go up on the side. And I don't mean like Comuna Trece has changed. I mean, by all means, do that tour too. But you need to get to Comuna Ocho. And Andres has a tour that takes you up there. You taste a little bit of food and so on before you go up, learn a little bit about the city, and then you jump in. So I'm going to have a few people join me today, but I wanted to say thank you so much. Dennis Freeman, thank you for my first donation. Much appreciated. It goes to good use. Nobody sees how much money you spend behind the scenes, from a microphone to the camera, the laptop. Nobody sees all that. Nobody sees the time it takes to put into it. So much appreciated for that. Also, if you want to donate to my charity, again, you go to my main channel page and just click on donate, and you can choose to the charity, and Andres make sure all that gets there. Also, want to make sure that when you go to Medellin, Colombia, stop number 1 or 2 or 3 needs to be Sweet Georgia Cafe. You need to stop by and see Rob, get you some good food, get networked, get plugged in. That's the place to be in Medellin, Colombia, for resources. It's not just good food, not just good drinks, not just the camaraderie of being around a few other Americans or expats. The food is outstanding. I don't eat tail. I don't eat anybody's tail. So when I saw pictures of his oxtails, I told my girl, I'm gonna have to try that. That'd be my first oxtails ever. But man, his pictures look good. So I can't wait to get down there. Hey, you must stop by. If I haven't said this before, or 1 minute ago, you must stop by Sweet Georgia Cafe when you get to Medellin, Colombia. They have 2 locations, one in Poblado and one in Laureles, as well as Brooklyn's. You need to stop by Brooklyn's and say hey to Chef Jay. Either one you go to, you tell them DC Rob sent you there. They'll take good care of you. They were going to take good care of you anyway. But tell them Rob sent you there, or DC Rob sent you there. There's a lot of Robs. And Chef Jay will get you taken care of. If you have a large party or something like that, call Chef Jay. You know, I've been in a restaurant business all my life, up until maybe 20 years ago. Still in it, but I sell to it. And I used to have some good restaurants over time. When I find a good restaurant, I stick with it. And, you know, my kind of restaurant is ambiance is good. The price is good. The food is good. It's clean. And it's empty or not packed. In other words, packed is good, but I don't want to have to stand in line. So those are my prerequisites for a good restaurant. How many times have you had one of those restaurants when you go back and next thing you know, they're not there anymore because not enough people patronize them? You need to support these 2 businesses when you go there. That's the last thing I want to hear, is that either one of these, you know, went by the wayside, which by no means will happen, because you are going to support them, number 1. And number 2, they know what they're doing. Let me tell you something. You got to stop by and talk to Rob. Have a conversation with this. This is a sharp young brother, let me tell you, to operate 2 locations now. He is experienced in this. And Chef Jay, I need to get some video to you of him. I was going to edit it earlier of him cooking. Man, you know, and I haven't tasted his food yet, but Terrence was there last week. Everybody knows Terrence, and man, I know the food was good. So make sure you stop by Brooklyn's too. And again, I'm waiting for more people to join me now. But again, Sweet Georgia Cafe, Brooklyn's. And if you need an airport or a pickup or drop off, that's Andres. Call my man Andres. His name is in the description below any of my videos. I don't just recommend anybody. Okay, if my name is associated with it, I'm picky. I don't trust a lot of people, but I spent a lot of time with Andres, and he's one of those people that you trust. And besides, a percentage of your ride or any tour that you do with Andres goes to our charity also. And this is the channel charity, okay? Comuno Ocho, El Faro neighborhood. Chef Jay is donating 15% of the check over there. So go get you a $200 check over there. Bring the fellas. Hey, I know I just got an invite earlier. There's I got a brother coming down. I think it was April, and you going with 8 other fellas. Man, you need to go by Brooklyn's. Well, you got to go by Sweet Georgia, but you need to go by Brooklyn's and have you a party, man, and just have the whole place, or sit out front. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. They're both in Poblado, and again, Sweet Georgia has a location in Laureles as well. Okay, I'm going to reach out. Luis is our moderator. He's one of the guys that comments on most of the requests for information on the chat line. And that brings up another thing, the chat line. If you're not in or on the WhatsApp chat group, you need to join. The wealth of information and knowledge, and the fact that you're going to be able to hook up people when you get there, is a safety issue too. You need to join this group. Again, shoot me your name and your WhatsApp number to dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. I say group with a P. dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com, because I keep getting emails to my other one. I'm catching some of them. I don't know if I'm catching them all, and just resending it over, forwarding it over to my dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. Hopefully by tomorrow, I got another 25 requests. We have 160 something right now. And I know by the end of the next week, we'll have 200. So people are going down. Canadians, Australians. I have, sometimes I have some videos that'll run up all day long. I'll get good views, and then it dies overnight. Now the views are continuing to go, which means that they're watching from overseas too. So people are coming from all around the world to Medellin, Colombia. So join the group, okay? I'm going to read a few of the messages in a second too. But again, I'm going to reach out to Luis. He's in transport. I think he's at FLL, Fort Lauderdale. I think he's switching right now. So I'm going to ask him to call in a minute. Hang on if you're watching, Luis. Just 1 minute. Let me read a couple of messages. Reset your reality. Drop a link. Lane Bentley says, hello. Shout out to you. Trenton makes, I know I need a PCR test. Do I need anything else before traveling? Just to check MIG and make sure you get the test done 96 hours before you leave, before heading there. Go. What's up, brother? Go. And now, I met Go when I was Go Travels, as you see him on here. And he knows Sweet Georgia is a spot because that's where I met him. And go figure, we're almost about the same age, I think. But we grew up 3 blocks away from each other. And go figure, I had to go to Medellin, Colombia to meet somebody that I didn't know when I was a kid that grew up 3 or 4 blocks away from me. So small world. I'm telling you, you will go to Medellin, Colombia. If you're from New York, you're going to run into people from New York. If you're from Philly or Detroit or Miami or wherever, you're going to see people there. I promise you, when you come into the group chat, people will recognize your area code too. So Tim Hill says, Mr. Rob, how's life? Life is good. Did some running around. Had to run around today, man. It was a challenge. Reset Your Reality says, I like your pad. Very nice. Thanks, bro. Much appreciated. Could you guys thumbs up? Yes. Thank you. We had 25 people in the room already and 11 likes. Do me a favor. I'm always going on about likes, but it works. It's just the YouTube algorithm. There is an algorithm that they use. The more times people watch it, that's good, and watch for a long time, and watch the commercials too. But the more thumbs up you get, the more they share it to a larger audience. So much appreciated. Appreciate that reminder. Now, I don't know why I didn't have that written down too. Okay. Tim Hill. Thank you, sir. I guess everybody can hear me okay. That means this mic is on. Merlin says, going to Medellin next week. Wanted to get some dental work done while I'm there. You know where I could go. Do we know where? Well, you need to go to Sweet Georgia Cafe, get plugged in, get some good food. And by the way, I forgot, I didn't write this down, but Rob at Sweet Georgia Cafe is doing PCR tests. So for everybody who asks, where can I get tested in Medellin before I leave? That's where you go. He's going to do it. I think he's got it. It's at both locations now too. He was working on that last week, so I'm sure it's already up and running. So both locations at Sweet Georgia Cafe, which you have to go anyway, and Brooklyn's, which you have to go anyway. But Sweet Georgia Cafe, Rob is doing PCR tested both, or if you want the rapid test, either way, and different prices, and he can tell you about that too. J Love, I'm about to hit up Sabaneta tonight. I have to keep my spots a secret from the tourists. Oh, trust me, I know. I go where there are no tourists, really. Tim Hill says, how do you rate the food? How do I rate the food? Okay, I don't know if I should answer that because I'm going to upset some prices. Oh, which food? Sweet Georgia? If you're talking about Sweet Georgia, that's it. Watch my videos. Anybody who's been watching me for any period of time, since my first day in Medellin, Colombia, when I moved there, I was at Sweet Georgia Cafe in Laureles day one. I mean, the day I went to sleep and woke up, I was there at 8 o'clock in the morning because I had to work, and he had Wi-Fi. I'm going to Cartagena next week. Excellent. Everybody let me know when you're going, where you're from. Give me some thumbs up, too. Much appreciated, too. I got like 2 more thumbs. Come on, guys. Okay, hey, Luis, if you're listening in, do me a favor and give me a call. Let me see if I can get this ready too. And again, Luis is halfway through his travels. And I just want to have him offer some tips. Okay. And there you go right there. Man, sometimes things work. Okay, Luis, you there?
Hey, what's up, brother? How are you?
I am doing well. Do me a favor and say a few words so I can ask if everybody can hear you.
Oh, for sure. How's everything? I just arrived in FLL, Fort Lauderdale. This is my first time back to the U.S. in 6 days.
Okay, excellent. Tell me, somebody give me some thumbs up that you can hear Luis. You may have to talk up a bit, Luis, because there's a lot of noise in the background. Airport noise,
sure.
Of course.
Yeah, it might be also my mask. I have my mask on too as well.
Oh, that's true. You need to keep your mask on, man, just unless you can get over to the side somewhere. Can I get a thumbs up that you can hear him good, please? Somebody, as soon as you can. Making my way to Medellin for the first time in April, trying to gather up as much information. Good, because you came to the right spot. HD chilling. I'll be in Bogota in 3 weeks. Okay, all good. I got Tim here, all good. Thumbs up. Okay. Okay, excellent. Okay, so tell us about your travels. People in the group, and not everybody here is going to be in the group, but people in the WhatsApp chat group know who you are and that you're actually there. You've shown a lot of pictures. You showed the check-in process. You showed your Airbnb. You showed the way it looks at night. Man, nice view. You're taking your test, and now you're on your way back. You're halfway back. So give us some tips on travel, on traveling safely to Medellin and back.
Well, it pretty much comes down to common sense. I know there's a lot of talk about, robbery, being mugged. The dark days. I always say the dark days of Medellin is kind of over, but the muggings and the pickpockets, it's still alive and well. But it should not deter anyone from traveling, due to the fact that we experience it everywhere. I'm from New York City, and the crime rates are going up, every day. But Medellin is still safe, just like any other city. When you get there, be observant. Don't stand out. I know I have a lot of local friends that tell me that not to wear shorts. When they first told me that, I was like, what are you talking about? But then I figured out why, because culturally speaking, anyone who wears shorts in Medellin, that's not the same as going to Cartagena. But when you go to Medellin, it looks tacky to them. And when a tourist comes in, you're wearing shorts in Medellin, downtown, maybe Park area, they're going to find out you're a tourist, and you're kind of open yourself up to maybe an opportunity for someone to scam you, pickpocket you, But most of the stuff is pretty much easy going. Just don't stand out. Be observant. There's a few scams going on with taxi cabs. If you find yourself in trouble, don't be afraid to yell out, because as you mentioned in your previous videos before, locals will not tolerate anyone who any robberies
Nope.
or scams. They'll go after it. So if you do find yourself in a situation, don't be afraid to yell out. Probably in Spanish, for example, like ladrón, which is bad guy, or
what is it again?
no, ladrón, ladrón, ladrón. You know,
Ladrón.
yell out really loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like Spanish for bad guy or thief. And people will hear you. People will come to your hey. Those locals, those storekeepers are not gonna tolerate. They're gonna go pummel that guy who's ever trying to steal from you or mugging you. But the chances of that happening is very low. Don't be deterred from actually traveling to Medellin. I've been traveling since October, and I've been going once a month for a period of between 6 to 8 days each month. And I've been going there for orthodontist treatment. So I've been getting my braces done, and eventually I'll get veneers done. So I'll look like a Ken doll by the time I'm done. But basically, I had no trouble each time I go. It's been a wonderful experience. Each time I go, I experience new excursions. I've been doing paragliding just recently. I've been going to hikes, ATVs. I've been dealing with the locals. They've been showing me where to go, what not to do, what to do. Anything that you hear in the news, yes, keep in mind, do listen to advice. But at the same time, you do common sense. Don't be flashy. Don't show your Apple Watch. Don't show your Rolex. Even it is, like you said before, even if it is fake gold, don't show it. Just when all this was happening, there's a lot of commotion, a lot of trends recently on the chat group talking about the recent activities in terms of the two tourists that were robbed at the Energy Living. That was not too far from me. That same day, I think 2 days later, I'm actually leaving Tesoro Mall, which is a major mall, beautiful mall in Poblado. And I'm actually driving. I rented a car this time around. I'm driving out with my girl on the passenger side, and I hit the main strip of Poblado. I think it's Calle 10, so in English it would be 10th Street. Mm-hmm. We stopped at a red light, and I noticed there was two guys on a motorbike. And they got really close to the driver's side, and I noticed my alarm went off the roof. I started remembering the advice. I started remembering the trend, the talk that we've been having on the chat group, and I started noticing that they've been eyeing me and my girl on the passenger side. They started noticing my watch, and I wasn't even displaying it. So they went really close to the driver's side, looking inside, looking at me. They went in front of the car, blocking us. They read my license plate. And my girl on the side, she was getting nervous. Now I knew something was up. So we decided they kind of moved forward and waited for us further up ahead because they knew where we were going. Where I usually stay at the Glutz, it's usually more, most of the tourists stay there. As soon as the traffic started going, we kind of went on. We turned to the left, and they were there. They were stopped at a curbside, and they were checking us out. So another red light, we stopped at a red light, and we noticed them. They noticed us, noticing them. We made eye contact. So when the red light turned green, we kind of just accelerated very slowly. We actually held back traffic for at least 20 seconds. They noticed that we were on to them, and they kind of slowly accelerated. And we kind of followed them a little, further back. As soon as they passed our exit, we made a right and we lost them. That's just to show that even though the experienced veteran traveler I am, I was not expecting that. I'm very solid when it comes to situational awareness, but that was one issue, that you have to be careful of. But will it happen to everybody? No, and it should not deter people from visiting Medellin. I promise you all that you will have an amazing time, a great time.
Yeah. So, all of these things, let me jump in right quick. All of these things and all the tips that we give you are just a piece of the pie to mitigate something happen. It doesn't mean if you don't wear shorts, nothing's going to happen. The only reason that we say don't wear shorts is because you're targeted as a tourist. People can pick you up. The whole thing you want to do is blend in. So speaking Spanish, number one. Well, speaking Spanish, they're going to know as soon as you speak. Even if you speak Spanish from another place, you're from Mexico or somewhere in the U.S. and you speak Spanish, they're still going to tell. But these are just a few tips. Do them all, and you should be good. Don't, no flashy things. Don't, no gold chains. If you saw the video, I think both of them had chains that got snatched. Both of them. So they were leaving. They broke every rule in the book other than wearing a sign that says, "Hey, come rob me, por favor." So, hey, I appreciate it. Anything else? Any other tips or anything you can offer before you go?
Yeah, definitely
Luis?
go to Sweet George Cafe. I went down there. It was the most delicious breakfast I've ever had in my entire life. I will go back, and I will sure go back. Well, I'll sure go visit Brooklyn. I wasn't able to go this time because of my orthodontist appointment, but I will go back, and I'm going back in 4 weeks. So I will see you again, Medellin. I will.
So yeah, did you meet Rob at Sweet Georgia?
I haven't because it was early in the morning, and I was in the Poblado area. But it was just a unplanned visit, and I was feeling hungry, so I saw that menu. I had to go choose. But I will greet him next time in 4 weeks. I'll be heading down to Medellin.
Good food, man. Okay, hey, I appreciate it, Luis. Safe travels for the rest of your trip.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, and we'll see you in the chat.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay, all right, brother. Take care. I call all of you brothers and sisters because you are my brothers and sisters. We are brothers and sisters in travel. Travel is my life. Hey, so it's been a rough year, let me tell you, to say the least. Let me go through a few of these. Okay, J Love says, I'm Colombian and Mexican food is the best in Latin America. I don't know for sure because I've only been to a few countries, Costa Rica and Colombia's in South America. I guess, is that considered Latin American too? Mexico. But I'm going to tell you, Mexican food is good. If you can get some authentic Mexican food, here we have Tex-Mex, so it's not all the way. Sometimes you don't want to go all the way either. Reset your reality. I got a thumbs up. Okay, you can hear ladrón. James says that's the word ladrón. That's just one more thing. We're not saying that's going to save your life, but I'm telling you, I have video, and I'm going to show some of these videos too. I can't show it online. I'll have to show it in the WhatsApp group where some of these people get stomped out to the point. It's like, ooh, man, you feel bad for the guy that was doing the robbing. They got caught. The cops show up. They're still beating the guy while the cops trying to protect them. I've seen numerous of these videos like this. They don't play if they can catch. I've seen a guy with a gun, pop, pop, pop. Next thing you know, and this guy got really be bad. Tried to hop on his motorcycle and as soon as he put his gun down, one of the guys ran up and tackled him, and it was a wrap. Oh my man, they almost killed that man. And if you saw my video, the guy on the bus too, the two kids on the bus trying to rob people on the bus, didn't work out for him, did it? Ayúdame, sí, help me. Ayúdame, por favor. Or when you're in a restaurant, ayúdame, por favor. J Love says, no reason to date online in Colombia. Learn Spanish, join a gym, and don't be afraid to approach a woman and be respectful. There you go. The first part of that is the most important part, I think, anyway. Learn Spanish. You want to meet somebody in a Spanish-speaking country. Seems like, again, it's difficult enough to communicate between male and female here. And we speak in the same language. Wait till you go to another language. And I had somebody comment the other day, said, boy, I studied on my Spanish before I left, but I was in for a rude awakening. Totally different world, man. Okay, I don't have a passport at this time, but we're definitely heading to New York to visit the restaurant Jerry from Boston, Massachusetts. Not familiar with that restaurant. Let's see. J Love says, I don't necessarily agree that locals will always run to assist the tourists. It depends on the situation and the location. True. Can't hurt to yell out ladrones and ayúdame, por favor. Learn some Spanish. May save your life. Really. BJ says, Luis for presidente. There you go. Luis is one of the most traveled guys in our chat group that I can tell. Alfred King, Alfred for Houston in the house. Houston, what's up? I'm here in Houston, man. Victor deleted a message. Let's see. Jay says, at J Love. J Love says, I fell in love with Guadalajara. Yeah, I've heard, man. I watch a few YouTubers down there. Sylvester says, they will know I'm a tourist. I'm 6'6". That'll throw you away. Go to Guatemala. Man, I feel like a giant. I'm only 6 foot. I feel like a giant. So yeah, 6'6", you probably stand out. And if you deep blue eyes or you're redhead or something like that, yeah, you may stand out. But for me, I can go and they don't know that I'm not Spanish. I was I won't say court, but I was on a what do you call it? Why can't I never remember the name of the lifts going up to Parque RV on the tram, whatever it's called. And not the tram, but I was taking that up, and I was on a car with like 5 other people, native Colombians, And they were talking and joking, and then she would look at me and I would laugh. I didn't have a clue what they were talking about, but I was just, and then went on about my business like I got a headache or whatever, but did not talk. Did not say, I see. No, nada, porque they know, okay? They will know, yep, thanks, Victor. What is CheckMed? It's CheckMig, M-I-G. It's the website, an app that you need to log on and put all your information, put your test results in, your flight number, all that good stuff. A lot of you guys have been challenged with that. Man, I've heard it's a beast. But I'm telling you, I've heard many of people, I've had a couple of people at the airport get in the chat group, ask for a couple of questions, and a few suggestions later, boom, they're in. Thanks, guys. So, and I think he just joined the group because he came in, he's like, hey, so-and-so introducing. I asked everybody to introduce themselves. He's like, so-and-so introducing himself. Hey, anybody know how to work this CheckMig? And right quick, he was on his way. So I got to assume that he's still in the group and doing well. It is a wealth of information. Anybody else, not James yet, but anybody else in the chat group want to give me a call, shoot me a message right here first, please. And then I will get you in. Let's see. How do you get in the chat group? Easy. You email me your name, full name, and WhatsApp number to dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. And then I'll send you information to get you on with a little bit of information ahead of time of what we're doing. We do have male and female in the group, so you have to be respectful when in there. Yes, I will police it, and I've had to release a couple of people from the group. Couple different reasons, but 160 something people, we're rolling. We'll be at 200 before the end of next week, and I'm going to assume we can at least do another 100 in March, at least, or 200. It hasn't been. It's been 2.5 weeks already, so we're doing good in that aspect. So it's working out. The information is valuable. Not everybody is on, of course, at the same time, because I have a job during the day, and I look on it when I can. And, you know, some people may be working at night, but they're on it during the day and vice versa. So everybody's not on at the same time. But, you know, I've seen people come back and go, whoa, I got 200 something messages. Read through some of the stories. I am working on a format where you can comment, stored, have subject matter saved, so you can go back and look at it from different angles, and way more than that. When I say way more than that, 95% better than that. So just bear with me on that, but that is coming. James says, do you guys get travel insurance when buying a ticket at the airline website or a separate site? Can anybody comment on that? Do you do it, you know, when you're booking your flight and it says, do you want to add insurance? It's another $17 or $27, whatever it is. I normally click no because I've never had any issues, but I haven't flown internationally since March, since coming back from Guatemala, which I cannot wait to get. If you have not been to Guatemala, you need to roll through, especially Antigua. Okay, that was GLC. How do I get in the chat group? There you go. Let you see. Okay, underscores don't work on CheckMig site. Oh, FYI, underscores don't work on CheckMig site. So again, it's not CheckMed, it's CheckMig, M-I-G. And he's saying, VJ is saying on that site, underscores don't work. So if there's a space in between something, don't use an underscore. Good info. Okay. Praise and applause. Extreme Horatian. Thank you. The JLC, I've been to Cartagena multiple times, but a lot of people tell me not to go to Medellin because of crime. Really? Even more so than, you know, I get this all the time. Is crime bad or good? And you guys give me your thoughts too. I always say, from my point of view, I come from a big city. Heck, DC in the 90s, we were considered the murder capital in the country. Okay, it was bad. And so I grew up in a city, and some people grow up in New York, and some people grow up in Jersey, in Philly, in Tampa, in Miami, in LA, and Houston, and New Orleans. You grow up in these big cities, so I guess you're just used to it. So I used to tell people, you know, it's common sense, but it's not necessarily common sense. You know, I started reading some of the comments and they're like, you know, I've been living in my town all my whole life. I've never seen a pickpocket or anything like that. And so it depends on where you're coming from is what I'm saying. If you come from a big city, it's, you know, like I said, I heard gunshots twice while I was there. I knew what, you know, I knew who they were shooting at, and it never bothered me. And I heard it. It didn't bother me. So, you know, it is what it is. It depends on where you're from, is what I'm thinking. It's what you know. It's what you know. So if you're coming from a small Midwestern town where they don't really have a lot of crime, then this must sound, or if they watch the news that I look at, I'm looking at El Colombiano right now, or Minuto 30. Man, Minuto 30 puts out some stuff and some videos. Dude, let me tell you, I know if you're coming from a small town, this will scare a lot of people off. And I have heard a few people say, okay, I'm holding off on this for right now. They're getting too desperate. But what us experienced travelers are saying is, you know, you can mitigate that. Don't be hanging out at 2:00 in the morning in El Centro with a lady of the night. You got a better chance of being in Laureles on 70. You know, it depends on where you are. I read a study too that actually crime was worse. Petty crime was worse in Laureles than it was in Poblado. That shocked me. I'm not sure about how much, but it was worse. Okay. Josie's been separate. Jay Love says people like to bring up crime in the States, but it's a different animal getting robbed in a foreign country, especially if you can't speak a language. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. If you can't speak the language, you can't communicate with the cops. I just got robbed. ¿Cómo? Dude took my wallet. ¿Qué? ¿Entiendes? ¿Entiendes español? No, hablo. No, dude. You got to learn Spanish, number one. I'm telling you, learn Spanish. And he's exactly right. I mean, being in another country, man, and getting taken, you know, it's different from getting got here. You get got here, you know how to call 911, call the police. Let me ask you this, and Jay, you may be able to answer this too. And I heard somebody say 123, but who do you call? Do you call 911? Is it 911 in Colombia? Do you know? Because I don't know. Never had me to call them, but I heard somebody say earlier, call 123. Is it 123? Do you know, Jay, do you know what it is if you need to call for the police there? And do they answer the phone? Have you ever had to call them too? I can speak a little Spanish. Okay, a little Spanish will get you a little distance, but it's better than nothing, let me tell you. Every little bit, if you can be understood, that's the key. I think that's the key. I booked my flights at Expedia. At checkout, you have the option 100% refund, $1,000 for lost luggage, and $50,000 for emergency expenses. Thanks, Victor. Jay says, a little may not be enough at times, but it's probably better than nothing. James says, thank you, Victor. Thumbs up. Mike B says, can anyone, if your phone just got jacked, can't call anyone if your phone gets jacked? Well, if you watch my videos before, have two phones. Always have two phones, because remember, if you have Wi-Fi, you still have connectivity with the world, okay? Always have two phones. I would not go. I'm just telling you. These are just recommendations. You're going to do what you want to do, okay? You're going to go down with shorts and socks and flip-flops, gold chains, rings, making it rain. People are going to do what they want to do. These are just suggestions, okay? But I personally carry two phones. I have, the one that's right here talking, and I have another one, and they're almost identical just because I had another plan. I'm not the only one with extra phones, Emma. Every time I switched a plan, it seemed like I had to get a new phone. And nothing's wrong with that at all. They both fingerprint, same USB-C, Android. Never had any issues. Always have a separate phone. But who do you call? Victor says, plus, if you become a member of Expedia, you can earn points for future trips. I know. My girl uses Expedia, and I've used Hotels.com. I've used Hotwire too. But let me tell you, she's gotten us some perks and some hookups for Expedia. I signed up for it, but I'm already like six trips in on my last Hotels.com. So how am I going to start all over? You know what I mean? That's how they hook you. 10 trips and you get a free trip, a free night stay. Vincent says, I'm more worried to getting back in the U.S. because of the testing that I am than the crime. There you go. You know, I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard, and somebody's going to tell me too. Please do. If anybody comes up positive on their way back, I want to hear that story. Do me a favor. I got to get you in for an interview while you're there, you know, waiting for your result to become negative. And J Love says, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, but I have my family in Medellin. So you just call your family and they come take care of it. But yeah, so now you know 1, 2, 3. Now, I don't know if that now, would you know if I bring my phone and I still have my plan, you know, I bring my phone with me and I still have my plan from the United States and I pay $10 a day or whatever to have the exact same service like Motorola does.